My name is Matt Hathaway. I was a teacher in the Exeter School District for a long time, and this year I am now the principal at Jacksonville Elementary School. And I'm here to talk to you about an awesome thing going on in Exeter called Exeter Student Outreach through the Exeter Community Education Foundation. Now, I know Ange Cook was at church the other day and did a great job explaining things, but Wendy and I were talking, and I thought, well, maybe I can just bring a school perspective to this about just how important it is, uh, this work that they do, and how important it is to make sure that programs like this are funded, and really just express gratitude for your giving last year during the Christmas service, and again this year. Because these dollars, I will tell you, there is no other place you can give where the money goes to students more directly. And my eyes have kind of been opened here as a principal in the last 4 or 5 months, and I never realized that in Exeter that there are actually over 100 children that are homeless. And that doesn't mean that you're going to see them necessarily sleeping under a bridge somewhere, but they're families who have been displaced from their home address and maybe living with somebody else, or transitioning residents, or living in conditions that don't give them a permanent place to be. And I've just been kind of blown away as a principal, being exposed to more situations. And I can't tell you how responsive the ECEF is to whatever we ask for, and how this money really meets kids right where they need us the most. For example, this year we had a child that was displaced from Hurricane Ian in Florida, and the family came up here and didn't have any winter clothing because they're from Florida. So the ECEF jumped right in and made that available. This year we had a student that was living in a car and actually ran out of gas, so we were able to provide the student um, gift cards to Wawa to make sure that they had the gas that they needed. Simple things like a child that's disadvantaged that wants to participate in a wrestling program, making sure that those fees are covered. Making sure that students, if they want to go to homecoming but don't have a way to get there, have a way to get there. There is always clothing need and food need. Um, Things like that we don't think about, like somebody transitioning out of homelessness that has an insurance gap, where they have copays that they can't afford. So the ECEF jumps right in there to cover them. We actually had a family this year that moved in from Colombia, avoiding a situation, and they literally came with nothing. And the ECEF within a day was had contacted them to provide services. Um, I think about, we had one where there was a student that needed a Halloween costume, and I'd never even considered that there would be kids in Exeter that couldn't have access to a Halloween costume. But the ECEF really just jumped right in to do that. Here at Jacksonville, we had a new student, and the new student was in a bad situation. And I took a walk with the student one day, and I just saw the student do a back tuck out of nowhere. And I couldn't believe that a kid his age could just stand there and do a back tuck, and then a round off back tuck. And I was like, man, we need to engage him somewhere in this community. And I called the ECEF, and within a day, I had a check to get him into parkour classes at a local gym. I don't know the depth of all of the need here in Exeter, but I do know that when Exeter has needs, the ECEF is the organization that jumps right in. So, if you're in a position to give during this Christmas season, I can assure you that this money goes right to our schools, and most importantly, right to the kids in ways that the district can't often fulfill the need. You can't budget for things like the ECEF funds. You can't budget for the unknown. You can't budget for hurricanes or things that happen, or an unfortunate home life situation that pops up out of nowhere. And these funds give principals and school counselors and every teacher access to dollars that we wouldn't normally have to serve kids where I think God wants us to serve them. So thank you, NorthStar, as always, for your generosity. And if you have any questions about the ECEF, or in particular its Student Outreach Fund, feel free to reach out to me directly, or Ange Cook, who was there the other day, because we always need people, and we always need to make sure we have the funding to reach the kids where they need it. Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank God for you.